Christopherleonjohnson here. So right now at 12 o'clock, there's going to be a rally again about the firing of the officers that killed Allan Feliz. And right here, right now, you have the balloons here. You have one police plaza.
They're announcing
what's up, bro? What up? What's up, man? What up? Doing good, man. Chilling, man. Chilling. Said to you, there's another rally at the city hall or what? I don't know because it's a lot happening. It's 1 o'clock. They have the hearing for the domestic violence.
You got feelings on that hearing?
Yeah. It's fucking sad, bro. It's sad. Like they somebody told that it's not there on the floor. Well, 1267 for domestic violence, right? For DV.
No. Not domestic. I was talking about the gender-based violence.
Yeah, that one. Okay. Yeah, that one. No,
how you feel about that legislation?
I feel it's good. It's a great legislation. 41.
Are you here for the police person?
Yeah, I am for it. Yeah.
How you feel about that?
Yeah, I see it. It's good. It's good.
See?
Yeah.
It's always good to know where you are.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You know, yeah.
The access. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, bro. No problem. So, yeah, I know. It's just, 1 o'clock, they have the rally, the gender-based violence hearing. And right now, they're going to have I'm live because Instagram, I'm sorry, guys, I'm never going to do Instagram live again. That's why I love YouTube. I'm not, I don't run anything. I don't run nothing. So, the Justice Committee. So, yeah, they want to call for the firing of the officers that killed Allan Feliz. So basically, what happened was, I think that was in the Upper Manhattan, like in Inwood, Washington Heights, Inwood area, where traffic stopped and Mr. Feliz got the car in a certain way, and the cops shot him. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something where like the cops feel that they felt threatened by the guy and they killed him. And so what's happening right now is that you have these people here. They want the officers that killed Mr. Feliz to be fired. I think the commissioner said that the cops was justified in doing it. But when it came to the other situation, what's that situation? When it came to the other situation, when it came to what do they call it again? The fucking what is it? Win Rosario. That was a real different tune because I'm explaining what's going on in Win Rosario, right? So Win Rosario lived in Richmond Hill, like I think like south, like Richmond Hill-ish area, pushing Owensville Park, like in Queens. So the Win Rosario situation was basically a mental health crisis call that the cops took, and I agree with these people. I agree with everybody saying that cops should be taking mental health calls, but the way mental health calls, what's up, Dean? What's up, man? Dean Moses right there. So the way mental health calls are is like, when the cops get a call, they gonna do what cops do. I totally understand, totally agree with that because cops gonna do what they do and they'll know how to handle situations like that. And with that happening, the NYPD, like they, the kid had a knife and he lunged at them and they shot him. And even everybody, all the agencies said, CCRB, said all the independent, the DA, Queens DA said like, Win Rosario was, he was being the aggressor and, cops were justified in taking him out, doing what he had to do. So, okay, fine. So right now, what's happening is that Zohran Madani's running for mayor. He's most likely mayor, most likely both might, we don't know. So Tish has billions of dollars in her pocket. She had $millions of dollars paid for consultants and research teams. And NYPD here, they have their opera research. They have their research people. They don't tell people that, but they do. So when that happened they found out that one of Zohran's closest organizations is Drum, right? That's one of the main organizations that got him elected was Drum. Desi's Rising Up, right? And so Desi's Rising Up is one of the lead organizations that are out here fighting with Rosario. And Tish feels that, okay, if I got money and if I kiss their ass, when it's time for me to be reappointed as commissioner, I can easily run to them and tell them to convince Madani to make me commissioner. I mean, make me reappoint me commissioner. So okay, when that happened, and what happened when Rosario? The reason those cops got indicted, those cops get in charge. Those cops will get in charge because of what's up, man? What's up, man? Doing good. It's because of just drum. It was basically drum. Nobody's going to say it, but the truth of the matter is fucking drum. That's the reason why that uh, that those cops getting charged here up in One Police Plaza. So right now they're having the rally for Allan Feliz. They still trying to get these cops fired for what they did to Allan Feliz. This is my feeling, right? This is my feeling, right? It's a long shot because it's a real long shot. Real long shot of a campaign. So this is One Police Plaza right here. Police NYPD headquarters. And it's like a fucking fortress. This is nothing compared. You go outside like by Park Row, it's like a fucking fortress. You can't even go inside without you gotta go just on purpose. It's like it's crazy, bro. That's what it is. So this is going to be something, and we're in the district of this situation happened in Washington Heights, Inwood. Basically, it's in Marble Hill area, which is basically Manny de los Santos and Manny de los Santos and Manny de los Santos, and I mean, that's what it is. So, take this up here. Yeah. So.
How are you? How's everything?
Okay, everything's coming. That's his photographer. The PA is coming. It's always at that price, right there. Fuck. Yeah. So yeah, Vocal New York is coming. What the fuck is And they're wearing purple because it's Domestic Violence Awareness Day. I mean, 1 o'clock they have a hearing at 1 o'clock, so.
Oh yeah.
So close. So close.
Discard post.
Yeah, I am.
Especially like on Friday. I came in on a Friday.
So for folks who are here for the Allan Feliz Rally press conference, if you could go stand with the family, that would be absolutely amazing.
That's a realize. Hello.
Sorry, no, you're very kind. I was just so glad. Now I know what I'm fucking talking about.
Either way, no, thank you. Cheers with my sergeant. I'm funny, but I'm also
Just screw it. You find it's all perfect. So. Oh, there you go. his name. Yeah. You want help with it? All right. 1, 2, 3. Say his name.
Allan Feliz.
Say his name.
Allan Feliz.
Say his name.
Allan Feliz.
Say his name.
Allan Feliz. Allan Feliz.
Dean. You understand? 1, 4, 5. 1:45 p.m.
Eli, you ready? You gotta say with me. Say his name. Right? And then they say Allan Feliz. Okay? So ready? Set. Say his name.
Allan Feliz.
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 Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. My name is David Galarza. I'm a member of the Justice Committee, a grassroots organization that works with families whose loved ones were killed by the NYPD, including the family of Allan Feliz, who we're standing with today. Tomorrow will mark 6 years since the NYPD, Lieutenant Jonathan Rivera, and Officers Michelle Almanza and Michael Barrett murdered Allan Feliz during an unjust car stop. It's been 6 years, and his family has never stopped fighting for justice. Because of their persistence, last year Rivera finally faced a disciplinary trial, during which time he lied and contradicted himself on the stand. NYPD Deputy Commissioner of Trials, Rosemary Maldonado, who served as the judge, saw through Rivera's lies. She determined that he made, quote, self-serving statements that were, quote, fabricated to minimize his culpability. She found Rivera guilty of excessive force and assault in the first degree and recommended that he be fired. What did she recommend? Fired! What did she recommend? Fired! It looked for a moment like the Feliz family's fight was finally coming to a successful end. Like they would finally be able to rest and mourn Allan. However, after dragging her feet for months, NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch overturned the guilty verdict of her own deputy commissioner. Shame! In attempting to justify her corrupt decision, Jessica Tisch cherry-picked lines from a 5-year-old report while ignoring the huge body of evidence produced since, including Rivera's inconsistencies and lies in her own deputy commissioner's findings. Lieutenant Rivera shot Allan at close range. He has a miles-long misconduct record, including shooting a teenager before Allan, and a substantiated complaint for serious misconduct since. This is a very problematic police officer that continues to be on the streets. This is the officer that Tisch went out of her way to protect and keep on our streets. It's cowardly, it's corrupt, it's unacceptable.
Hello, my name is Althea Eva, and I'm also a member of the Justice Committee. We're not just here to commemorate the 6th anniversary of Allan's murder. We're here to announce that Allan's family, the Justice Committee, Latino Justice, PRLDF, Center for Constitutional Rights, Beldock, Levine, and Hoffman, and Gideon Oliver just filed an Article 78 lawsuit charging Letitia's decision to overturn the guilty verdict was unlawful, arbitrary, capricious, and abuse of discretion. We are asking the courts to overturn Tisha's shameful and corrupt decision and order her to fire Rivera, something that should have been done years ago. It's absolutely outrageous that after losing Allan to the NYPD, after overcoming obstacle after obstacle for 6 years, and after achieving a guilty verdict, Allan's family now has to go back to court once again to get a sliver of accountability for Allan's murder. Jessica Tish should be hanging her head in shame. Overturning the guilty verdict against Rivera was a corrupt and self-interested move, aimed at gathering favor with the NYPD and with the police units. No matter what she wants us to believe, Tish has made it clear that she's no less corrupt than Eric Adams and all his other police commissioners and the rest of his administration. She had her chance and she failed. She cannot be trusted to serve or lead New Yorkers. We are calling on whoever becomes the next mayor to remove her as police commissioner and ensure that she holds no position in city government.
We're going to hear from members of the Feliz family. To say they're tenacious and tireless is an understatement. How can they not be? They're fighting for a good man, for a brother, for a son, for his father. We've heard time and again the expression that every person is someone's universe. This is Allan's universe. I'm going to bring up Sammy Feliz's brother to say a few words.
Thank you, David. First and foremost, peace and blessings to everyone here. Definitely grateful to have you guys all here reporting the truth directly from the mouth of the family. It's an honor to be here and speak with my family and stand tall for Allan on his commemoration of his 6-year anniversary. My name is Sammy Feliz, and I am the younger brother of Allan. Allan to me was more than a brother. He was a confidant and also a father figure. A source of care, love to us all. Allan's death has left us bottomless and a void at every holiday, family function, and event. My family and I are outraged and devastated by Police Commissioner Tish's shameful decision to overturn the guilty verdict against Lieutenant Rivera for killing Allan. It should have been obvious and immediate decision for the police commissioner to fire an officer who killed a New Yorker in cold blood and has almost 40 misconduct allegations. Instead, the discipline process dragged out for almost 6 years. Tish delayed even more and tossed it all out the window. Allan's case shows exactly why the police commissioner should not have control over police discipline. Rivera lied about what happened. He lied about why he shot Allan. He lied about whether his partner was visible. He lied about why he said, and he quoted, "My hand was getting tired," and gave an inconsistent testimony. So much of the NYPD's own discipline judge found him not credible and guilty of assault and excessive force. I was in the courtroom with Maldonado. Tish wasn't. But she still chose to ignore all of these facts. Tish's refusal to fire an abusive officer was not based on ample evidence of Rivera's wrongdoing. It was just for her own political benefit. By letting Rivera walk, Tish is sending a message that cops can racially profile, abuse, and kill New Yorkers with total impunity.
Right.
And still be protected by the highest levels. She's telling families like mine that no matter the facts, no matter how hard we fight or how long we take, we don't matter as much as protecting a killer cop. New Yorkers need and deserve a leader who cares about their well-being and not corrupt officials like Jessica Tisch.
That's right.
That's why my family and I are calling on whoever becomes the next mayor to get rid of her, remove her as the police commissioner, and make sure she has no role in city government. I think that every day about how Rivera's is still on the police force, and even the NYPD's own discipline judge found him guilty. The truth is, Lieutenant Rivera should have been fired a long time ago. But since he killed my brother in 2019, he was promoted. And he has hurt more New Yorkers since then. I live in constant fear that I or my family will run into Rivera on the streets. And that Rivera will hurt one of us or someone else in this community. I'm afraid to call 911, which is a shame, because it could be Rivera who answers that call for me. I rarely even drive around this city, and especially not alone, because I worry that something as simple as a traffic stop could lead to my getting shot. Just like it did for Allan. It's only a matter of time until Rivera hurts another New Yorker, and the blood will be on Jessica Tisch's hands. Jonathan Rivera is a danger to New Yorkers, and that's why we refuse to stop fighting and why we filed this lawsuit. After 6 years of fighting a guilty verdict, a killer cop can keep his job, then this justice system is a sham and a disgrace. Disciplinary authority should be stripped from the police commissioner and Jessica Tisch and be removed and replaced. Nothing can bring my brother back, but if the court follows the law and overturns Tisch's outrageous decision and orders her to fire Rivera, it will bring a relief and some measure of closure to me and my family, and will make all New Yorkers safe. Thank you.
Next person who's going to speak is the mother of Allan Feliz. No mother should be in these circumstances, especially. The next person who's going to speak is the sister of Allan Feliz, Ashley Verdeja, who's been fighting for her brother since day one.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Ashley Verdeja, and I'm the younger sister of Allan Feliz. I'll start by saying thank you once again for all you guys being here once again, and let's get through it, right? I miss Allan every day. He was my big brother, my friend, my protector. Losing him was losing an angel amongst us. He was such a big part of our lives. The past 6 years have been excruciating and exhausting, but Allan's love fuels me to go as hard as he needs me to go. With my family, I have stood here countless times, taking off of work and putting aside our grief as best as we could, and doing everything in our power to demand the most basic form of justice which Allan deserved. And even that was not enough. The fact that Rivera wasn't fired makes me feel like the law is simply not upheld with officers. They can get away with anything. They have no regard for New Yorkers' lives. I can't fathom why Commissioner Tisch waited for months with this case on her desk, putting us through such a long and excruciating process, just to come to a no. We finally built hope after her own deputy commissioner found Rivera guilty and recommended he be fired, but Tisch took it all away from us. It makes me wonder what the entire process was for. Not a day goes by that I don't think about Tisch's decision to let Rivera keep his badge and gun. Knowing Lieutenant Rivera is still on the force is disappointing and it's scary. I hope nobody ever experiences Lieutenant Rivera as an officer, because he is a danger to me, to my family, and to every New Yorker. Since Tisch overturned the guilty verdict, I have found it very hard to even work. I feel disoriented at times and tired all the time. I don't want to think about this anymore, and it's almost as if I would just love to turn off my brain and sleep, but we can't even do that. Every time we see a police officer, even on TV or even hearing a siren, it just makes me nervous. Since we never got any form of accountability, I can't help but believe that an officer will do the same thing to somebody else and also get away with it. My mom can't be here with us today, but I want to share something on her behalf. When she first arrived to this country, she believed the police was here to protect us and to uphold the law. But Lieutenant Rivera, Mayor Adams, and Commissioner Tisch have made it very clear that this is not the case. As long as Commissioner Tisch supports violent officers like Rivera, No one in this city is safe. So we are calling on the next mayor to ensure that Tish has no place in their administration. And we are urging the NYPD to fire Lieutenant Rivera for once and for all. Nothing will bring my brother back. My nephew Eli will only have his dad in memories. But at least if Lieutenant Rivera is fired, I will be able to sleep at night knowing that Lieutenant Rivera won't be able to help, or hurt, I'm sorry, because he wouldn't help, hurt another New Yorker as he hurt my family. The court must overturn Commissioner Tish's shameful decision and Rivera must be fired. All of our safety depends on it.
Ashley. The next person who speaks is Julie Aquino, Allan's compañera and the mother of their fabulous child, Eli.
Good afternoon. My name is Julia Aquino. I am the mother of Allan Feliz, who is Allan Feliz's son. Allan should be alive today, spending time with his family and his children. Instead, we are here 6 years later without a shred of accountability. Our son Eli was just 6 months old when NYPD Lieutenant Jonathan Rivera and Officer Edward Barrett and Michelle Amazon racially profiled and brutally murdered Allan and took Eli's father away from him forever. There's not a day that goes by that Eli does not ask for his father. At his school the other day, there was a Father's Day event for all the students, fathers to take them in. But Eli didn't have that. He told me I have to take my dad, Allan Feliz, but he's not here. No child should have to go through this. No mother should have to explain to her child why their father is gone, or why the cop who killed him is being left off the hook. Especially as he gets older, Eli looks so much like his father. But when I tell him this, he says, "Don't say that. The police are going to come and kill me like they killed my dad." I want to tell Eli not to worry, but how can I do that if Lieutenant Rivera is still patrolling our street? When I learned Commissioner Tish had reversed his Deputy Maldonado's decision and let Rivera keep his job, I felt like half of my heart was missing. I lost my appetite and I have difficulty sleeping. I'm afraid knowing Lieutenant Rivera is still an officer and still carrying his gun. I am afraid he might harm someone else. I'm so nervous to drive now because he's still on the force. I'm scared that he pulls me over, he'll learn who I am and retaliate against me. Or that he pulled me over for no reason just because I've been actively speaking against him. I was born and raised in New York City, but now I can imagine staying in this place that has caused my family so much harm. I'm worried about our safety here. I don't want to keep my son in this city, where his father grew up, where his father was killed, and where his father was denied justice. I don't want us to live in a place where police get away with killing people with impunity. Half my heart is missing, but the other half is strong and filled with anger at Jessica Tish for making such an unjust and outrageous decision. Ignoring all of the evidence, my hope is that the court sees Jessica Tish for who she is and reverses her decision. Then this overwhelming fear that comes from knowing Lieutenant Rivera is still patrolling the city will be relieved. Eli has been to countless rallies, more than any 6-year-old should have to go to. He knows what's going on. Yeah, he's still just a child. I hope I can tell him the whole story later, when he is older and can better understand. And hopefully when Lieutenant Rivera is fired, so I could tell Eli there was finally some justice for his father. Thank you all for your support and your time.
Say his name! Allan Feliz! Say his name! Allan Feliz! What's his name? Allan Feliz! What's his name? Allan Feliz! Say his name! Allan Feliz! Say his name! Allan Feliz!
We're also joined here today by the families of other New Yorkers that have been killed by the police. whole family should be a member of this club. They're here in solidarity the same way that the Feliz family has been in solidarity with them and their loved ones. So let's also give it up for Kelsey Polanco, the stepdaughter of Allan Feliz, Kimberly Feliz, his sister, Ileana Mejia, his cousin, Joshua Lopez, nephew of John Collado, and Victor Dupre, brother of Delron Smalls. Please give it up for all these families. Victor Dempsey.
Okay, I'd like to welcome Jamani Williams, but before I do that, I want to also thank Carmen De La Rosa. She was here and was willing to speak, as she always does, in support of the family and the campaign, but unfortunately she had to leave. But another tireless supporter of all of us here, Jamani Williams, public advocate for New York City.
Peace and blessing, love and light to everybody here. Thank you, everybody's here. Thank you, family. Continue to keep Allan's name lifted up, not just for yourself, but for all the other families who haven't gotten justice. And sadly, because there is no accountability, it's likely that there will be additional families at some point added to the name. And while you hold your brother and your son, your relative up, it's for so many other people. Thank you so much. That is a heavy burden. It's really tough to continue to talk about a case that seemed to be the prototype of how easy it should be to get justice. The Allan Feliz case should have been, particularly from an administration that said that they wanted to do something different, and from a commissioner who, until that point, seemed to be trying to do something different. So I'm proud, I should say, to stand here with the advocates and the family and saying we're not just going to let it go. We're going to use all the tools at our disposal. This lawsuit is the right way to go, because as many people have said and will continue to say, if there ever was a case that almost everyone agreed upon, even officers that I know cite this case as one where there should have been a level of justice, reminding people what this was asking for. Wasn't even jail time, wasn't even an arrest. People were asking for that, but this wasn't that. This was a departmental discipline. If you can't have a departmental discipline for someone shooting someone unarmed, that the own department judge says should be disciplined, says they didn't believe what they were saying on the stand, I don't know when you can get it. And that seems to be the problem. Everything they ask us to do gets done, and you still don't get the justice that you rightfully deserve. All of those things should mean that you should no longer be a cop. But I want to put it in perspective. Not only do you have an officer who made the wrong judgment and killed someone, you have an officer that a judge believed was lying on the stand. This is now the person who has been elevated, promoted, and is out on the street, that people want us elected officials to go back and say you should have faith in. That is a very, very difficult thing to do. And Commissioner Tisch, you really blew it. You just did. I don't know how else to say it. Siding with the Attorney General, who had a different barometer of which to look at this case in this lens, which is a terrible, terrible miscarriage of justice. It cannot be all an officer has to say is they were fearful, they thought this, and that alone absolves everything. There is nowhere else, no other job that could suffice, and nothing happened to you. And the least that this would have done was say you should no longer be a member of the NYPD. That's it. If this doesn't say you shouldn't be a member of the NYPD, what does? What kind of officer do you have to show yourself to be other than lying and killing someone else unarmed for no reason, which a judge agrees with? What else are you asking for us to tell the people of the city of New York. So I pray this lawsuit is successful. Again, not just for Allan Feliz's family, but for so many other families who were told, if you just do this, if this happens, if that happens, and so many New Yorkers who were told, if you just sit as stoically as possible, you'll be okay. It just doesn't happen. And part of that change is some kind of accountability. Commissioner Tisch did not deliver that. It was brought to her from the CCRB, from her own judge. I'm really hoping that a courtroom will bring some kind of justice at some point, and I will stand with the family and everyone else until that happens. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jumani. Our next two speakers are from the incredible legal team that is working with Allan's family and the Justice Committee on our Article 78 lawsuit, Feliz versus Tisch. First, I want to express deep appreciation for the full team, including Latino Justice Preldev, the Center for Constitutional Rights, Beldock, Levine, and Hoffman, and Gideon Oliver. With us today is Sama Sisay, the staff attorney of the Center for Constitutional Rights.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Sama Sisay. I'm an attorney at the Center for Constitutional Rights. CCR has been at the front lines of police accountability work in New York City for decades. First as counsel on the Floyd versus City of New York litigation, which challenged the stop and frisk practices. And now we are honored to be part of the legal team representing Allan Feliz's family and Justice Committee in this lawsuit against the NYPD and Commissioner Tisch for really just shocking behavior at refusing to simply discipline. And I think what Jumani said is really important. The department is refusing to simply discipline an officer who at the time of this incident was a sergeant. Wasn't someone who was new to the force, right? Someone who supposedly had gone through various trainings and was setting an example for other officers on the scene with him. Someone who had multiple disciplinary infractions against him that had been substantiated. Someone who killed an unarmed person after tasing them multiple times. And yet the department still refuses to engage in any form of discipline. They think nothing should happen. In fact, they think he should be lieutenant. And this is an example of who the NYPD wants to be protecting New Yorkers. And we say that's not okay. And so this lawsuit that we brought is challenging the decision by Tisch to overturn Deputy Commissioner Maldonado's determination that Lieutenant Rivera should be fired from the NYPD because he is lying about what happened the day that he killed Allan Feliz. So Rivera claims that during a car stop that happened because they claim Allan was not wearing his seatbelt, that he believed the car was going to move forward and hit an officer on the scene. And so he felt there was danger and he had to shoot Allan at close range, right? So this is his story that he provided. And during the AG investigations, the Attorney General investigation, where they could have brought criminal charges against Rivera, they did find that they didn't have enough to bring those charges against him. But again, the standard for bringing criminal charges against an officer are much higher than the standard for bringing an administrative or disciplinary proceeding against an officer, right? Yet Commissioner Tisch relied on the Attorney General's determination over 5 years ago, where the Attorney General did not have all the evidence that the Civilian Complaint Review Board had when they did their investigation and substantiated claims against Rivera. The Attorney General did not have the same evidence that the Deputy Commissioner of Trials had when Rivera was on the stand and testifying, a trial that Tisch was not present at. Despite all of the evidence that has amounted over the past 5 years to show that Rivera lied about what happened, made statements that were not consistent with body-worn camera video, Tisch ignored all of those evidence and determined that a statement from the Attorney General that she could not bring criminal charges against Rivera, didn't have enough evidence to bring criminal charges against Rivera, was enough for the department to therefore not bring any form of discipline, administrative discipline against this officer. And that's completely false. you'll often hear people say that the police commissioner has the final say in discipline, but that's not true. The New York City Charter does give the police commissioner control over discipline. However, it's not final. A court can look at that decision and see whether it's a lawful decision that was made. And we're arguing that Tish's decision was not lawful because it was arbitrary and capricious, and it was an abuse of discretion. So why are we saying that her decision was arbitrary and capricious? That essentially means that she reached a different conclusion than her deputy commissioner, but did not provide any evidence as to why she reached that conclusion, right? So she's just saying, well, we think that he was telling the truth. The attorney general determined this, and so I'm going to rely on what the attorney general determined 5 years ago and ignore all the evidence that the CCRB and the deputy commissioner have presented. That is arbitrary, that's capricious, that's illegal. And that's what we are arguing in this lawsuit. One example of evidence that should have been really damning in this case is that after the shooting, there's video of Rivera saying, my hand was tired. Right? He didn't say, oh, I thought I was in danger, or I thought the officer was going to be hit by a car or anything. The statement he made right after the shooting is that his hand was tired. And when he was being interviewed about the statement, he said he was talking about performing CPR. But if you watch the body-worn camera video, it doesn't align. He was in the car. He wasn't performing CPR. So there's multiple instances of him lying and saying these self-serving statements to try and escape accountability. And now we have Commissioner Tish essentially saying that's okay. Saying that taking somebody's life, lying about it, leads to you getting no form of discipline from the NYPD.
That ain't right.
And that is not right. That's not right.
That ain't right.
And so that's why we are in court. That's why we are demanding accountability. We believe that her decision should be overturned. We believe that the decision itself is illegal. It's arbitrary, it's capricious. And my co-counsel, Olivia Clark, will explain more about other arguments in the law.
Good morning. My name is Olivia Clark, and I'm an attorney at Beldock, Levine & Hoffman. Beldock, Levine & Hoffman is a firm that has long stood by and represented families whose loved ones have been killed by police. And I'm proud to be a part of this legal team. The New York City Charter gives the police commissioner discretion and authority over the discipline of officers, but it does not say that the commissioner can abuse that discretion or break the law. And that is precisely what Commissioner Tish has done in this case. Under New York law, courts can reverse disciplinary decisions when the punishment or lack of punishment shocks one's sense of fairness because it is grossly disproportionate to the misconduct or to the harm that was caused. And that's exactly what we have here. Commissioner Tish's decision to let Lieutenant Rivera keep his job shocks the conscience and offends any basic sense of justice. Deputy Commissioner Maldonado didn't mince her words. She found that Rivera lied, he contradicted himself, and he showed unabashed obstinacy on the stand. Her decision was careful, it was reasoned, and it was grounded in the facts. Under New York law, those credibility findings are supposed to carry serious weight, and they're largely unreviewable. But Commissioner Tish just threw them out the window. Tish's decision shocked the conscience of Allan's family, the entire legal team representing him, all of the groups and the elected officials that are here today, and countless New Yorkers. It dismisses the gravity of Rivera's misconduct and tears at the very fabric of police integrity and accountability. Let's be clear, Rivera took a life. He took the life of a partner, a parent, a brother, a son, and a friend. And instead of facing discipline, he's been promoted since killing Allan. Tish's decision doesn't just excuse a killing. It sends a message that an officer can take a life and then climb the ranks. That's a terrifying precedent for every single New Yorker. Commissioner Tish's decision must be reversed, and Rivera must be fired. That is the only outcome that honors the law, upholds basic justice, and offers even a fraction of accountability for the killing of Allan Feliz.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, Jessica Tish has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Jessica Tish has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Jessica Tish has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Jessica Tish has got to go.
Okay, our final speaker today will be Council Member Alexa Venus. Welcome her and her support. And guys.
My name is Alexa Vilas. I'm a council member representing a district in Brooklyn. And I have been standing with the Feliz family in this grave injustice. And you've heard speaker after speaker give you the facts of this case. That all lead to the same conclusion. Police cannot police themselves. Even with facts that you have heard over and over again. Misconduct allegations substantiated, lawsuits, murder, inconsistencies in testimony, and even being found guilty. He is still allowed to walk free and get promoted. If that is not the very definition of corruption or something even more profoundly sinister, I don't know what is. And so we will continue to stand with the family to demand accountability. 6 years plus. Imagine had it been your loved one. Imagine. We will stand here as long as we need to. And yes, Jessica Tisch must go. Saying she blew it is an understatement. What she did was unjust, and she knowingly did it. So we will stand here and demand full accountability. We demand her departure because she has proved she is incapable of serving justice to New York City residents. And so with that, we stand in solidarity. We demand full justice for the Feliz family who continues to be harmed by the New York City NYPD to this very moment with no accountability. We stand with you.
I said no justice!
No peace!
I said no justice!
No peace!
I said no justice!
No peace!
If we don't get no justice,
They don't get no peace!
if we don't get no justice,
They don't get no peace!
Before we take questions on behalf of the Justice Committee, we again want to express our gratitude to our legal team, Latino Justice Pro-Dev, Center for Constitutional Rights, Bell Dr. B and Hoffman.
Okay, stop streaming.